Hey guys, so some of you who know me have probably thought that I've given up my smartphone a while ago. I said I would. I switched back to a flip phone, a $16 flip phone. I have lots of reasons for doing this. One, I want to set a good example for my children. Two, I have a smartphone addiction. We'll get back to that later. Um, Three, in general, it's just healthier, I believe, to not be addicted to and controlled by a physical object. I feel that I have been addicted to and controlled by a physical object, and I'm ashamed to say that after I said I'd quit using a smartphone, I've kept using it. I did not honor what I said I would do. The good news is I'm way, way, way too cheap to buy a new smartphone. So if I smash this thing, I am 99% certain I will not use a smartphone ever again. The Bible says that Jesus Christ has set us free. If you're a Christian, you've been set free. You've been set free from sin. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. We are called to be free, but not to use the freedom to indulge the flesh. You are free to use this thing. I'm not saying anyone's sinning by using this. It could be a sin for you personally, or it could not be. For me personally, I just feel enslaved by this. It's not even really a sin issue, it's a freedom issue. I feel enslaved by this, so I want to destroy it. I have a few more things I'd like to say after I smash this, but I need to smash this before I chicken out. So, safety first. That looks unusable, right? It should be done. Now, some of you guys might think I'm crazy for doing this. But freedom is just a really big deal to me, and I really feel like I have been a slave. If Christ has set us free, then why do I feel like a slave all the time? I feel like a slave to my sin. I feel like a slave to my phone. I feel like I'm a slave to my work. So why? Why am I a slave if Christ set me free? I'm not the one giving answers. I'm the one asking questions. If you came to this channel looking for answers, I apologize. My only answer is the gospel, and that's a great answer, but it's not very, I don't know how to say it. Everybody who's a Christian knows the gospel is the answer, but that can be an annoying answer if you want something a little more detailed. So I don't have the answers, but I have felt like a slave, and that's my question. Why do I feel like a slave if I've been saved? The other big thing that's enslaving me is my job. I hate my job with all my heart. I work in manufacturing. I despise my job. I despise it. It's terrible for my health. I've been off work for a couple weeks now, and a lot of my stress-induced health problems have gone away. That's a huge wake-up call for me. My health is so bad that I walk with a limp. My joints pop. It's hard to move. My body's all swollen and intense. My job is terrible for my health, and it's terrible for my temper. It's terrible for my happiness, and I'm a miserable person, and it stresses me out so bad it's destroying my body. And I'm a welder, so it destroys my lungs too, and probably not the best thing for my eyes, and so on and so forth. So I want to be free from my job, but going out and getting a new job and paying the bills isn't such a simple thing. You got to pay the bills, you know what I mean? Sometimes I wonder if I sold my house and I moved into a more trashy place, could I get a job that pays less, that I actually enjoy a little more? I don't know. I just pray that God would set me free from my slavery. I really do feel like a slave. I have an abusive boss, and I get up at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., sometimes 2 a.m. to do this work, and it's horrible. I really stressed out about it, and just wish that I'd be set free. I wish I could have a job that I don't dread so much. I don't wake up feeling afraid every day. I'm not terrified of my job, that I don't hate every moment of my life. Like I said, I'm the one asking questions, not the one providing answers. I wonder how much of sin is hereditary. Obviously, sin is somewhat hereditary because we inherited Adam and Eve's sin, right? So it has to be somewhat hereditary. But at the same time, we can't just blame our parents and our circumstances for our wicked behavior, right? So I wonder about that. I can't give you too much details about my dad because that's his private information. And I can't be sharing that stuff on the internet. Definitely not without his permission. I will just say, as much as I hate my job, my dad hated his job even more. And he was a Vietnam vet, so you can connect the dots there. I wonder how much of my issues is hereditary. So it seems like the people who raised me, at least the men, were rather obsessed with suffering. And I seem rather obsessed with suffering. When something terrible happens to someone I care about, I fixate on it, and it's like an obsession to me. I obsess over it real bad, and I hate my job so much, like the boogeyman. It's like I'm obsessively terrified of like being a slave to my employer, and like I don't know, just so much of my patterns seem to reflect the patterns of the people who raised me. I'm just so desperate to break the cycle and escape from that. I can only do it by God's grace, obviously, but just pray for me, please pray for me, because I cannot stand my job, and I refuse to accept that things are just gonna be exactly the same for me as they were for my dad, and I don't want to walk down that path. I don't want to be a slave to this horrible thing. I want to be set free. So, yeah, that's my rambling little rant. I feel like there's more I want to say. I don't have the answers, and just pray for me that God would deliver me from this, because it sure would help out my family a lot, and sure would improve my health a lot. I actually had a job I didn't hate if I was set free from my slavery. But hey, at least I smashed my smartphone. Hopefully I'll never find some sneaky, insidious way to resume my addiction. Hopefully the Lord has delivered me from my phone addiction, at least. Thank you for watching. God bless you guys.